What kind of karma do you have according to your zodiac sign? Karma is what comes back to us based on our actions in previous lives, according to Buddhist teachings. Our present life, destiny, and character are the embodiment of the good and bad deeds we have done in the past, and the foundation of karma is based on the principles of absolute justice, reward, and punishment. Karma encourages individuals to reflect on their lives, learn from their mistakes, and accept personal responsibility. For instance, if you spent the majority of your time in a previous life being lonely and unhappy, that state of being will carry over into the life you are living now. During the course of this life, you will develop a strong desire for interpersonal connections and will do everything in your power to ensure that those connections remain intact. Whether those relationships are with family, friends, or potential partners, it is important to cultivate them all. Or, in a previous life, you took actions motivated by your beliefs, but they weren't well planned out and didn't produce the desired results. Because of these choices, you and others are now exposed to potential financial and physical harm. That led to a loss of self-confidence at the time, so you have carried this over into your current life. Some people are more prone to certain karmas based on their zodiac sign, and it is essential that these people acknowledge this fact and work on bettering themselves as well as the deeds they have performed in this life. Aries. In a previous life, you had the impression that you were extremely responsible and in charge of something. As a result, the nagging sensation of responsibility that you have all the time is detrimental to both your mental and physical health. You have the impression that nothing can function properly in the absence of your influence, and that you are even accountable for the actions of other people. When they are in a romantic relationship, they have the urge to mend or help the other person, simply because they lack their pure heart of gold and their humanity. But you, as an Aries, still need to be more self-centered for the sake of your own well-being. Taurus. In a past life, an unrequited love left a blemish on your otherwise picture-perfect life. This love has now followed you into this new life, and it won't leave you alone until you give in to it. Because you are dependent on her, she is the source of both your insomnia and the fact that you have reached a point in your life where you can no longer experience joy. The individual, whether male or female, who caused you to experience these emotions is your karma, and they will impart yet another valuable lesson upon you. In this life, you will have to go on without her love, but you have to accept the fact that this is how things should be. They shouldn't be the factor that determines how happy you are. Rather, you should focus on making yourself happy and realizing that you can function just fine without them. Gemini. Because you put too much stock in logic and reason in your past life, you were never able to choose the path that was best for you. For this reason, you have become more limited in both your thinking and your actions, and therefore your rationality can be considered to be your personal karma. Additionally, you put far too much stock in the thoughts and anticipations of other people without truly listening to your heart and going after what it is that you want for yourself, which is what you should have done in the first place. Gemini, you need to stop thinking and analyzing everything and just listen to your heart for once. You have nothing to worry about, because nothing but good things are going to happen to you. Cancer. You have, in a past life, been responsible for a mistake that has left you feeling guilty. Maybe you have let someone down by not taking care of them, or maybe you are disappointed that you were unable to have a greater impact on the outcome of something. In any case, you should get rid of that karma because it has now followed you into this life and it is your responsibility to do so. Even though you can't help but have a nurturing and caring mindset throughout your entire being, you have to stop blaming yourself for everything. You should try not to feel guilty about the way things turned out because you did everything in your power to assist other people. There are some things that are simply beyond your ability to influence. Therefore, even though you should never stop making an effort, you shouldn't feel responsible for everything that goes wrong. Leo. You had a bad experience in a previous life where you were abandoned, and as a result, you are terrified of being by yourself. Either a father figure was absent from your upbringing, or you have simply found yourself in the position of being an only child throughout your life. You must come to terms with the fact that no matter what happens, you will never be by yourself. This must be your karma. There is always someone looking out for you and someone who is there for you, even if you feel like that's not true. Your worth is not determined by the number of people in your immediate environment whom you believe it is necessary to impress. You may benefit from the company of others, but it is not necessary, as you are capable of overcoming any challenge on your own. Virgo. In a past life, people who were jealous of you took advantage of you, which ultimately led to your downfall. This is your karma, and the experience that you've had as a result of it has left you feeling as though you can't trust anyone. Because Virgos didn't want anyone to get too close or see how vulnerable they were, they built a wall that no one could penetrate. People have the wrong impression of you because of this, which is very far from the truth. You are simply too valuable to be exploited and made to feel ashamed, as you were in a past life. Despite this, you should work on developing a higher level of trust in other people because not everyone wants the worst for you. Libra. You failed to stand up for yourself in your past life, and as a result, a lot of people didn't have any respect for you. In addition, your family did not step in to protect you when you were in danger and you found yourself in precarious situations. In general, many Libras are haunted by traumatic experiences from past lives, most of which are connected to their feelings of safety. Simply put, because this is their karma, and they have to learn from it by remaining strong. They have an enormous amount of character, and it doesn't matter what happened in the past or how badly others have let him down. They can still come out on top. Just keep in mind that your history does not have to define you, and that you have the ability to make changes at any time. Scorpio. In a past life, you let life control you, so now you will do anything in your power to prevent that from happening again. You have evolved into the type of person who does not give a damn about the emotions of other people or how the consequences of your actions will be felt by others. This is simply because the things you do to other people also brought about your own destruction in a previous life. If you have been indulging in unhealthy pleasures, you may have experienced feelings of depression, loneliness, and loss of control. Because of this, many people born under Scorpio have a mysterious air around them. After all, their souls were once pure, but someone corrupted them. Remember the law of karma, and be aware that the suffering will only end when you can summon the strength to treat others with consideration once more. Sagittarius. You have been through more suffering in a past life than anyone would wish for themselves to go through. It is said that Sagittarius has the most powerful personality of all the signs of the zodiac. However, the suffering they go through as a result of their karma is extremely cruel. They are dealt an unfair hand by life, and everything that happens to them leaves an indelible mark on who they are. In spite of this, all of their suffering is their karma, and it is a guarantee that something beautiful will yet emerge from it. Despite the challenges they face, they are fortunate to have something that only a select few possess. So if you continue to be so limited and arrogant, you will soon find that none of what you have accomplished matters because you are alone. Capricorn. Because in a past life you experienced feelings of weakness and unfulfillment, in this life you turn out to be very jaded and self-absorbed. This is your karma, and you need to make a change in your behavior before you completely throw away your life. No matter how much money you make, there is still a person behind it all. Your success is not defined by the amount of money you make. This is someone who suffers from an extreme anxiety disorder and hides behind their accomplishments because they are terrified of not being loved and accepted. Realizing that you shouldn't put other people down simply because they don't live up to your expectations is another important thing to keep in mind. If you continue to be so limited and arrogant, you will soon find that none of what you have accomplished matters because you are alone. Aquarius. In a past life, you were a very timid and reserved person who was unable to experience the full joys that life has to offer. You also had a tendency toward depression and suffered from low self-esteem. Because of all of this, you developed a fear of living life to the fullest and of taking chances. You now have to make some changes to the way you live your life right now. Make the most of the time you have here on Earth to triumph over your phobias and develop into the kind of person you've always dreamed of being. Fear will get you nowhere, and instead of being afraid of failure, you are afraid of not even daring to do something. Pisces. Someone you cared about very much in a past life was severely let down by you. Because of this, you will have many opportunities throughout your life to learn that you should never mess with the emotions of other people. As a result, if you go around treating people like their job offers, you'll quickly come to the conclusion that they don't really care about you. Others are different from the person who truly loved you. This because that person would always show up and be there for you. By the time you realize how wrong you have been, it will be too late. The only thing left will be a lesson that you will use when someone loves you again like the person you left behind.